It's recording, so you can close engineering workbench. We're going to get back to it later. Just close it for now. Close part maintenance. Just go back to running out before screen. Close opportunity code entry. I don't know why there's two other codes open, but it's fine. All right, so the first thing we have to do is add the field. We have to have somewhere for it to store the parts per package quantity. Right, there is no spot right now to store that. We have to add that.
Okay.
All right, so I should have told you to keep operation have the workbench open. My bad. Can we reopen that? I have to see what that is. So let's go to production management, engineering management, or engineering, general operations, engineering workbench. And then open up your group, which was SPI. Right, so now we can go back to the manufacturing tab and go to the materials tab. So what I want to find out is where is quantity prepared and stored, because that's the number we want to change.
Okay.
Right, so we have to figure out where in the database that number is stored, and we'll just use help to figure that out. Just go to help and field help. And then click on the technical details tab. Right, so it's ECO MTL quantity per. Right, so it gives us two pieces of information. ECO MTL is a table that we have to add another field to called parts per package. Right, because we want to add parts per package fields to the division.
Right.
To fill the quantity per field. Right, so we have the quantity per field and ECO MTL is the table we want to do. So now you can close it. So to add a field to Epicor, they're what we call UD fields, user-defined fields. They're a little bit different than user-defined tables.
Right.
They actually attach themselves to the original table.
Okay.
All right. So let's just do a search and type in extended. And there's an extended UD table maintenance tab. Right, so within here we can create tables, right? So if you click on table name, I'll show you the one. I created two. I created one for quote material, one for job materials. You search, there should be two of them in here. All right, so one's in the quote material, one's in the job material. You can see what the table name is. The exact same table name underscore UD at the end, right? So for your reference, when you're looking at SQL, this is when pulling the DBO object rather than the ERP object is going to show you all these tables. Okay, so when you're doing a SQL query on ERP.quote.mtl, you're not going to see the UD tables. But if you do a SQL query on the DBO.mtl, quote.mtl,
Okay.
then you'll see all the custom fields as well as all the originals.
Okay.
All right. So close this for now. Actually, can you open up job material? I just want to see what we call it. Go to the column tab and open up the column view, the tree view there, and open columns and parts per package. That's what I wanted to see what we called it. That's all.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and click on the file new and then new table. Right. So we're going to search for our ECO MTL table.
Okay.
Right. So because that's the table we want to add a new field to.
Okay.
Right. So just type in ECO. And do a search. And there's ECO MTL right there. Okay. Right. So now go to the column tab. Under ECO MTL. Then go file, new column. Right, so we're just building a new column into this table. Right. Column main will be parts per package, so parts per PKG with capital P's. And then tab. Notice how it adds an underscore C.
Right.
It does it automatically so that you know which one's the custom fields.
Oh, okay.
Right. So all your custom fields will always have an underscore C at the end. Right. The like field here can be used to determine that this field will open up like some other type of field. For example, if this was another spot to store a quote number somewhere,
Okay.
I can make it like the quote table and a quote number field in the quote table. So the first part would be the table, the second part would be the field.
Okay.
Right. And then what would happen is when I right click on that, I'd have the option to open with quote entry.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So it makes it act similarly to that other field.
Okay.
That's how that works.
Okay.
Right now we're not using that. So let's go to the description. Sorry, that will be ERP, that will be quote MTL, or quote, that will be, like if you wanted to make this like a quote number,
Right.
it'd be ERP, quote, like columns, quote number. So the description, you can put a description in here. stores parts per package quantity. Quantity.
Oh,
The quality, yeah, quantity.
Thank you.
You're missing it now. Yeah, quantity. This is recorded. All right, so the data type, you have to select the data type. In this case, we're using integers for this storage. So we'll click integer. I remove the decimals from, or the commas from the integer, just to make it a little cleaner.
Oh, all right.
And then I also added 2 more spaces to it, so it moves along.
All right.
So 2 more out of those. Yeah. All right. So if you want a specific label, you can do that as well. Otherwise, we'll just use price per package, which is fine. An initial value is always 0. Whether or not you want it required can be checked off there too. If that's checked off, you cannot save anything to this table until there is a value in this field. Right? And hidden by default just hides it on all the rows by default when the table is created. All right. So save this. Okay. Now you have this saved. This is not yet in the system, right? So this has not yet been synced with the system with the rebuild the database.
Okay.
This will be synced in the system. So to do that, you want to close this, and we actually want to open up the Epicor ERP server. So it's the RDP into the ERP
Oh,
server.
okay.
I have the creds for you. And then lets you know when we by default. Here. It's SPI-ERP, I believe, is the computer. Probably log on with your own, right? 'Cause you're
Yeah,
the admin.
I think I did get to myself.
There you go. So just maximize that. Okay, so the Epicor administration console is the one you care about right now. So you open the administration console in Epicor. And you open up server management. Open up the SPR stats local. And select the test database, because we're working in test right now. Right. Once selected, you're going to stop the application pool.
Yeah.
Right. So before we regen, you want to stop the pool just so nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yes, you want to stop it. It's going to turn off the sessions that are currently logged in, which is fine. Now you go to the database server management section. Open that up, open the SPS SQL, and open up test again. Within here,
Get to regenerate.
regenerate that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Hit generate, and don't click anywhere else. So this is just because we disconnected it there, so that's fine. And wait.
Then you have to turn back to applications.
That's correct. Take a little while. Usually for rounding fields, you know, once you want it one time, and you do regen, so that way it doesn't all once. So wait a little while. Okay, so now you've done what I always do by accident. What can happen now, select that, you have to open that back up.
Yeah.
What will happen is there's a pop-up that comes off of this Generate Data Model tab that says OK to close it. And this other window will not go away until you close that. And it's happened to me before where I've stared at this other window for like 15 minutes straight, waiting for this other thing to finish. And all it is a window in the background waiting for me to hit OK. Because I didn't have this window in the foreground. You want the Generate Data Model window in the foreground until the pop-up pops up saying data model is done. Otherwise, the other window just never goes away. So you sit there forever just looking at it.
Okay.
There's that window. Right. So you hit OK, and then this one goes away after right? So now you can go back to the test database, start application server.
Thank you.
Okay, and then you can close out your ERP server. And then you can log back into test.
Are you yawning?
Yes, I'm yawning.
I hear ya. Oh, yeah.
Should have had an apple this morning.
You know what? I think you gotta do it more than one day. I tried
Yeah.
it.
Did you? Didn't work out for you?
I'm gonna give it a week and I'm like, no.
See what
I eat apples, but I mean, I don't typically eat them necessarily in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm actually drinking juice.
It helps if it's really cold and sour.
I'm just like a zombie in the morning. I just have to go to that pot, make my pot of coffee, and then I'm like,
It takes a while because the application
Right,
page started.
it's-
There it is. Okay. All right, so now let's go and build our customization.
Okay.
All right, so turn on customization mode, or developer mode, I should say, which is a little wrench. And then go to the same engineering workbench we were at before. Let's go to menu, engineering, turn to production. Go to production.
Oh, thank you.
Engineering, general operations, and then engineering workbench. Okay. Got engineering workbench open. Right, so this is the first thing you're met with when you're loading a customization. A couple options here, and I'd recommend sticking with C# since that's probably what you know. You can select Visual Basic if you'd rather code in Visual Basic,
Okay.
or C#. We usually just stick with C#. And the first time you load it, you'll notice there's really only a base. There's no customizations or personalizations listed.
Right.
You could, if there were any, select those and load those instead. Right, we usually just select base and we hit OK. Right, this is the first time you open it up. Right, so now you go to Actions, or Tools, sorry. Customization. Let's look up the customization window. You'll notice the other window becomes an editable form, similar to what you would see in Visual Basic.
Right. Well, okay. I haven't touched this ever, so.
Okay, so you actually want to make that smaller because you want to be able to see both screens. So I'd maybe move your engineering workbench screen to that side a little bit, just so you can still see it, and then move this to this side so you can still see it as well. So go to the Revision tab now, or actually the Method Manufacturing tab,
Okay.
and the Materials tab. Or the Materials underneath that. So within here somewhere is where we want to add our quantity per package,
Right.
or our parts per package quantities. We want to add that somewhere in here. So what I would do, let's think here, where's the best spot to add this?
Did you have any quantities?
No, so I had it right there under the quantity section. I'm just thinking where we want to move this around. So what we could do is, I'm thinking we could move fixed quantity, right? Maybe move scrap over a little bit, put fixed quantity right before scrap, or here's what we're gonna do. So grab that fixed quantity checkbox. Don't grab the label, grab the checkbox. The label's gonna be attached to the checkbox, so it'll move with it.
Okay.
Bring that up right beside this little drop down here. It's going to be behind it. No, don't bring it that far out. Just put the checkbox there. We're going to move this. Just bring that to there.
Here?
A little further over.
Here.
Yeah, right there. Right, so that's going to be our new location for that. Somewhere in that location. Select the fixed quantity label now. Make it smaller because you don't need that extra white space on the far side. Right, so don't make it smaller that way. Just make it smaller this way. Exactly. Right, so just go to that. So as far as you can go before it doubles up, right, just like that. Let's go back one. And then select the checkbox again to re-snap the fixed quantity checkbox over to it. Right, so now what I'm thinking is we move quantity parent and the drop down for quantity parent down beside fixed quantity. So we're going to move it over and down, so it's down one line. Right, something like that, exactly. And now we have room to add our parts per package quantity.
Okay.
Right above that. That's where we can add that, right? First thing I do is I hit save on this side. Yeah, we're going to save our customization, right? So check off all companies, because we do want this to be available for all companies. The name of the customization, I've been calling it parts per package. Want capital P on the parts as well.
No.
Right. In the description, parts per package is fine as well. If you were going to change the description at all, you would leave this as a width. But you check that off, because then this pop-up will pop up every time you hit save.
What's working in?
Work in process.
Work in progress.
Right, so you can say this is work in process, right? So I'm working on this right now. We're not going to save it as WIP right now, because we're not going to change anything with the descriptions. So just hit run it. Just hit save. So. Right. It asks you what you did. Just put added parts per package text box. Right, so now we've saved it. So now we have our first revision saved. So now we want to add the other check boxes that we need, or the other boxes that we need. So we'll go to the tools. You're going to want to keep this window over here a little bit so you can see this. So just click on tools, go to toolbox. Right, so this opens up a little toolbox on the side where you can add types of fields to Epicor. All right, so the first thing we want to add is a numeric editor. Right, so you'll notice there's a difference. There's a text box there. That's used for standard text. But you want an EPI numeric editor for numbers.
Right.
So select that EPI numeric editor. And so once it's selected, you can just click here and then drag to make something as big as you want anywhere. So you just click inside it. You don't have to drag and drop it.
Oh, I see this.
You click and then just drag to make something as big as you want. Right. Just like that. Right. So I make it a little bigger than that because you want this quantity to be a decent size. About that's fine. Yeah. And you can select that and move it over to where you want it to see it.
I see.
So now you can drag it and move it to where you want it to be. It's probably right there, yeah. Right? So now you have that. Now we have to add a label as well. Right, to match that. So I just use an EPI label. Click and drag again. Right, something like that. So select it. Kind of put it where you wanted to put it. Now move this a little bit over so we can see the full. Yeah, so you can see that and this at the same time. Perfect. Okay, so you got the EPI label selected. First thing I do is I rename it. The naming conventions I always pull from what Epicor's done before. So you can see all the labels start with LBL, lowercase LBL, and then whatever the label's going to be.
Right.
So I've renamed that LBL parts package quantity or something like that, or parts per package. Right. The text is what actually shows up on the label.
Do we label it the same?
Yeah. So backspace that, and this is going to be parts space per space package, right? Right, because this is what you actually want to show.
Oh, right.
Right, and then probably with a colon at the end. Parts per package with a colon, or PKG.
Yeah.
Right, make it a little shorter. Right, and then if you click away from that, now you'll see that little change on the quantities tab. Right, so you might want to make it a little bit bigger so you can see the whole thing.
Yeah. I'm a little derpy today, so
So there you go. So now one thing you're going to do, so now you selected your numeric editor, right?
Right.
So first thing I always do after I do this is I attach the label to the box so that it moves with it. Right? So I attach my parts per package label, I sync it up with this box here. I'll show you how to do that. Select the box.
Okay.
Right now you've created your label, select the box, go to the EPI label field under EPI control. So there's an EPI label field right there. A little higher.
I'm blind.
Right there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Drop it down.
And
So you see there's a suggested option,
right.
label parts per package. Right, so that's when you just create it to select it. Just double click it. Right now it's in there. And now when you move around that field, you'll see the parts per package will automatically snap to it. It'll move around the.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Oh, I see.
So it snaps to it now. Right, so it'll move together as one piece.
Right.
Right, so that way it'll stay even. Right, so that's the first thing I would do. And then you can move everything over a little bit more and make more room after this.
Yeah. Okay.
So now we have our parts per package label. So select that field again. We haven't told it where to storing any information. Right? All we have is an empty field.
We have to bind to the.
We got to bind it. Right? So we select our EPI binding. Drop that down. And now we find where we bound it. So ECL material.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
That one.
So just click it once. scroll down.
Should be in that.
It should be under P. So find our custom field that we just added.
There we go. There.
Click it.
Yeah.
So now it's bound to that custom field. Right. You scroll up. You'll notice there's actually some spots here where we can change the length of the integer and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I
Right.
see.
So for example, if this was a decimal field, we would change this to a numeric decimal rather than an integer. So when somebody's entering a field value, it's entering the actual field value that they have. In this case, it is an integer, so we'll leave it alone. You scroll down to the bottom. Something else you may want to look at is location and size. You can manually just type in numbers here. Right. So for example, if you select quantity parent, copy the size. Go back to your other field. Go back to your, paste the size
In here or
in here. Nope, that's the location. Paste the size.
Sorry.
There you go.
I see.
So hit tab. And it'll resize it to be identical in size to the quantity per parent field.
Oh, okay.
Right, so if you want things to line up nicely, right, you could also use this. This is just your X and Y axis.
All right.
Right, so you can use the axis or whatever to line up
Oh,
exactly
okay.
what it is and lining up a certain number of pieces, you know. That way you can make things look nice.
Okay.
You don't have to, but you can. All right, so go ahead and hit save on this.
Here?
Yep.
Yep.
And it'll ask you for another edit. You don't have to come and edit in here. You can just say, okay, so we already have all the information we need. Okay. Right. So let's say you're done with this customization. Now you're okay with the way it looks. Right, so let's close this customization. We now have a customization that adds a parts per package field to our engineering material screen. Right, so this mimics what we have in the quote and what we have in the job. What we don't have yet is something telling it that when I pull from a quote into my engineering details, I need to fill that screen out.
All right.
Right. We also don't have the BPM that decides to divide the quantity in that screen and put it in quantity per parent. Got to create both of those things. It's 12 o'clock now,
Yeah.
so let's stop for lunch, and then after lunch, we go over that, and then we can have the meeting with Judy and